Theo, come up. Good. Place. Yes. Good. Good boy. Hi, and welcome to how to line comb your dog. Theo's not really shedding too much right now, but I just figure I will show you the technique that I use to brush Theo for procuring all of his fur and kind of harvesting it for spinning. This is useful for those who want to spin yarn with their dog's fur, but also whoever has a Samoyed or a double-coated dog. So you can make sure that you get all of that undercoat fur, and it's very beautiful. So you're not just slicker brushing them into oblivion, kind of doing it much quicker and more enjoyable for them. I obviously have lots of snacks, so this is tool number one. This is some beef lung that Theo really loves. Yes, good job. Theo boop. Yes. Theo pop. Yes. And just get your dog comfortable and give them some snacks. Yeah. Because at least if you have a Samoyed, they'll do anything for some treats, right? Yeah. Okay, Theo, kiss. Good. Yes. Theo, kiss. Kiss again. Good, yes. All right, I'm gonna put this down for now. Okay, so the tools that we need for line combing are this undercoat rake. I use the rake rather than just the fine metal tooth comb because I found it was a lot more comfortable for my thumb. I found that just the metal comb, it's really easy to clean and store, and it does a very good job, but I just found like ergonomically it wasn't that good for my hand. I have it lying around somewhere. I can't even find it just because we use this so much, and it does a great job. So I'm not sure if you can see, but it has just this ergonomic handle. I got it on Amazon, and the teeth are not sharp. They're smooth to touch, but they're offset, so it grabs some of the fur and really does a good job of taking the undercoat out and in a really nice, lovely line. I also always keep handy a slicker brush. This is just the one that I use for carding Theo's fur to spin, and that's just some fine little bristles that I like to use after to make sure I've gotten all of that undercoat off, because this can often loosen up a lot of the fur. So I'll move the camera a little bit closer so we can see in detail what I'm doing. All right, so what I usually do is start out with the bum area. Now, for all of the spinning people out there, you may know this already, but the bum fur isn't super great for spinning. The fur isn't as soft, certainly not as soft as the chest fur or the head fur, neck, arms, and yeah, I like to I like to spin the fur, I like to comb the fur, but also keep two separate piles with fur that's going to go into the garbage and fur that is going to go into my little storage pile for spinning. That's right, Theo. So what I'll do is just start out with a great line. So the idea with line combing is that you're doing it all in a line, and eventually those lines make up their entire body. So it's making sure you get every little nook and cranny. So I like to start out with the feet, and I just go backwards on the feet. You can see it picks up some of that undercoat from the feet. So I just go back through it, I go on the bottom of the hock. Stay. Good job. I like to pick up a little bit of fur and then comb the other way. Oh, Theo, down. This is when your treat comes in handy. Theo, forward. No. Theo, stand. Theo, turn. Good. Back it up. There we go. Now down. Good job. Yes. Okay. So there's a little bit of fur, so I think that's. Whoop. All right. We're just gonna back comb his hocks. A little bit of dirt in there, that's okay. Then I just take it off, and you see how this fur is not really great. It's short, it's just not gonna spin very well. So this is gonna go into my garbage pile, or maybe feed the birds pile, rather. So to get into the line combing a bit, Theo, down. Good job. Okay. Make sure he's sitting like a good boy. I bring up the fur and I use the comb just to gently go down. So I bring up the fur and I comb downwards. And just be really gentle that you're going a little bit by little bit so that you don't pull a lot of the fur or their skin downwards. Try this with my other hand. So I go up and down. You can see how a little bit of the butt fur isn't super great. It's a little bit wiry. You can see it over here. And yes, it's long, and yes, I probably could spin it, but I just like to keep a lot of the good quality fur for the spinning, just to make sure I have that top quality garment. So you can see this kind of chunk comes off just like that. So this rake is really good for those sections. And you can see it's just going a little bit by bit, getting right to the skin, making sure that nothing is matted. And I do this pretty frequently because I do all of Theo's grooming. So it really just works, you know. If I have some free time sitting in front of the TV, I just pick a side. Maybe I'll do one leg one night, one leg the other night, depending on how furry your Samoyed is. They might be a little lopsided if you do only one leg one night. Yeah, you can see the fur is getting a bit better. So I'm going to take off this piece so I don't mix the good fur with the bad fur. It's all good, don't worry. And start in the little smoother bits. So I'll finish this little line. Good. Good boy. Now in spring and summer, that's when Theo sheds a lot from here. Even now, quite a bit is coming off. And I think this is pretty good fur, so I'm going to keep this for my good pile. You can see it's very lofty and soft, and it's not the longest in the world, but I think it'll be good. So I'm gonna put that in the yes pile. Right. Good boy. Give him lots of love. Yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah. Good deal. Okay, so we're just gonna finish off the leg here and just be careful around this area. Their groin area is a lot more gentle. The skin is more sensitive. The skin is a lot thinner, so it's more prone to pulling. And you see, I do a little bit just to loosen up that section, and then I pull down to include it in the rest of the other sections. So that way you know this entire section below where your brush is already combed through and free of mats and dense fur. And the reason why they call it line combing is because you're just making lines as you go up. Or at least that's how I've theorized it. Good boy. Oop, don't get your own sweater. Good boy. And when I usually stop the line combing the thigh right when it comes to like the middle of their back, right around here. Good boy. Yeah. So we'll stop the back for now and move on to this front area just so I can show you that a bit. All right, so now we are lying on our side off the mat and we're going to do the shoulder area. So what I really like to do is just have him cuddled on the ground, sort of petting him. And what we'll do is do that same technique up the shoulder. So I'll start just over here, and you can see it's already starting to come off. Good boy. Good. So we're just taking each line by line, line by line. Good boy. Good boy. And I can usually just follow it up into the neck. I do the chest afterwards, so there's not really a need to do the chest now. And he's not shedding too much, so this is going pretty easily and doesn't take as much time. Good boy. Good. Yes. Some more snacks. Yes. Good, Theo. Yeah. And then again, I usually make my way all the way up the nape of the neck. And you can follow all the way up here and then go all the way in behind the ear. So how we do that, and look at this fur is much softer, very lofty, and it's just very delicate and pretty gorgeous, if I say so myself. So we're gonna go up through the shoulder, similar line combing, all the way up. Just make sure, keep a sort of mental map of where you've covered. Now, this is also a pretty popular place for Samoyeds to mat and for other dogs to mat. So make sure you're being gentle here, but also cognizant of their matting locations to make sure that you can brush it more frequently. And then that way you won't develop mats over time. Good boy. Good job. And I still kind of expose that line, just kind of make sure that I'm working in a progressive sequence all the way up. Good boy. One more snack. Yes. Good job. Just stay. Good boy. The hard part is finding your way back. So I like to just sort of push gently down behind the ears. Now I don't suspect I'm going to get that much fur here, but good boy. Good job. All right, and that's pretty much all we've gotten. I did do this recently, but you can just to see the technique at least, and to keep the upkeep on brushing your dog is always a really good thing, especially if they're prone to matting. All right, so the last bit is the chest boofing. Theo's got a lovely, lovely chest boofing. It's very nice and smooth. And what I like to do is just feel for any mats, make sure that I'm targeting any if they exist. Good boy. Good Theo. Good boy. All right, so I just bring up the fur in a similar line fashion. Make sure that I'm going line by line. Good boy. Yeah. Okay, so the last thing that I do is just do an entire slicker brush all the way down, just to catch any loose furs. So I'm going to start just with the butt, just with the hocks. Make sure everything is nice and done. Through here, good job. Right through the back, the belly, good job. Chest boofing. Good boy. You can tell like not much is coming off, but anything that we loosened up, it tends to catch as well. So that's really nice. And then the tail. Okay, so that's it for now. And if you have any other questions about line combing or spinning or about Theo, just feel free to let us know. One last boop, goodbye. Okay, bye.